Hey folks, how's it going? Where's my mouse? There it is. Hope you all had a good week so far. It's Wednesday and we're actually doing some game dev stuff for a change. We've ditched the Fallout for the moment. Probably go back to it at some point, but no rush. Let's switch over to Blender and you can see what's going on. Might recall from Friday we finished painting the panda. It's all done now. I think what was left to do was get the orientation of the ears moving. Looking good. Hey Jeffrey, how's it going, dude? It is a good panda indeed. Look at that. Yeah, the whole thing moves as I expect, apart from the ears. The ears kind of have the wrong axis. I need to work out how to move it from that kind of axis to sort of 45-degree angle. There must be something in the so we go back to animation maybe. I love panda. Hey Lisa, how's it going? Hope you've been both having a good week. I saw the modes. So yeah, I have made a command. I'm not doing anything on the command, but I have made a command, but it's not triggering it. So I need to change something. I need to look at the documentation and see what the trigger needs to be. Very tired, but other than that, good. Awesome, glad to hear. Yeah, being tired's not good, but being good in despite of that is something at least. So we could try animating, I suppose. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. It's been a good day today. Watching Ajax, nice. It's always a good day for watching Ajax, so long as they're not being absolutely thrashed. Who's Ajax playing? 2-0 so far, nice. I'm wondering if I can save an animation into this model, if that animation then carries over. I think it should carry over to Unity. So if it kind of like dances or something. What do we do want? What do we want? Go back to modeling maybe. It's the armature. So armature we want to. Is this bone joint here? I want to change how it moves. Object constraint properties. So that's, we need to apply that to any of the joints we don't want to move certain directions. Material, particle. This could be under, might be under pose. Go to object. Sculpt, edit. It's been that long already. I can't remember how you do the posing. It's modeling for sure. Object mode. Pose mode. There we go. Kinematics. I think kinematics. That's to do with movement. Bone groups, motion paths. Change armature layers, change bone layer. Bone settings. Display wide form. No, that's general settings. Transform. I have to do a quick Google on this one. So a quick look. Blender armature. Because what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Is it angle? It's not that, is it? It's finding the right terminology. It's changing. Is it it's not rotation. It's a joint. So Blender armature. Blender armature. Bone. Direction. Could be some of those. How's reverse direction of bones in my armature? Rigging in which direction? Mostly vertical bones or in their local. So it's a local legs. How do I change the axis? Axis. Ooh, 3-0. Awesome. It's an axis. Axis direction. There we go. Z-axis for thigh bones pointing right, y-axis pointing down, but my thigh bone is actually pointing different axis. So change directions of the bone axis. Sec bone, press Control A, apply rotation, profit. So it's an object mode. Let's go to object mode. Control A. What was it? Convert normal object transforms to data transforms. Any existing data transforms are included. as that, doesn't it? No, basically. So it's making it local. It's the local axis, I think. Motion paths. What's the end? Viewport display. Viewport display. Viewport display. Okay. Axis. Position. Okay. So that's saying X is there, Z is there. Want to kind of apply pose as rest pose. Yeah, don't need to rotate like that, 'cause that so the viewports just tell me where the axis is. And according to that, the axis is what I would expect it to be. What else are you going to make in Blender for the game? I was thinking of hey Stephen Hanton, how's it going? How are you making a game on Blender? I thought you could just animate. You can actually make games in Blender. It's not advisable. But yeah, Blender's mostly good for making the things you put into games. But how's it going, Stephen? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. That's what else I'm going to put into the game from Blender. Thinking of making a few more objects to throw for the player to throw. So this is going to be one of the objects. I think some just crazy things that would be quite funny to throw up. I've got a basic chicken model I need to modify and make that more usable in Unity. Because the model itself is in 2 parts and it needs to really be in 1 part to get the most out of what I want to do with it. Why it's in 2 pieces, I don't know, maybe that's the way it was designed. But yeah, I want to put a chicken in there because throwing a chicken with a trebuchet feels amusing to me. And probably other farm animals, maybe a cow or something. But you can get a lot of these kind of models pre-made. There's no point spending hours making a cow. What kind of game are you making? Making a silly little game. Oh, hello. Where you throw objects at a castle to try and knock it down. What's up? What? But yeah, if you look back through my my YouTube videos, you should be able to see previews of what I was. Excuse you, I'm trying to speak. What? You have everything you need. You've got food, water, comforting place to sleep. You just had some treats. But yeah, you're just basically throwing objects at a castle, and once you've hit the castle a number of times, castle falls down. Next level. So it's a simple concept. Here, Cat, you hear Damien. He literally walked to this point in front of me, looked up, meowed several times, and he's now walked off over there. You have your bra. Nice. Cat. Tell him we say hi. Damien, Lisa says hi. Didn't even move his ears. Typical cat. Yeah, he's been complaining all week so far. So my parents are in Portugal, and he's not happy at the situation. Yeah, want to finish the spare, put the bear into the game. Want to put like a typical kind of dumbbell weights, your kind of style of dumbbell weights into there as well. Hey dealer, how's it going, dude? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. So yeah, gotta put it in. I want to model Dwayne the Rock Johnson's head, so you can quite literally throw rocks at the castle. I spent like 40 quid on 2 boxes of pills. Ooh. That's why, yeah, the NHS, you're spending about 20 quid per prescription at the moment. 20 pills. So 10 pills per box, and it's still costing you 20 quid. That's that 2 quid a pill. Wow. There's an unfortunate cost of health. Yeah, main thing at the moment though is working out, because this is bound to come up. So a lot of what I'm doing is working out how to do things, because this is the first model I've made in Blender, like the first thing. Hey Stephen, thank you for that sub on YouTube, much appreciate that. Thank you, dude. And Stream Elements actually caught up with that. I know it can be slow, so you might have subbed some time ago. XTC. Oh, yeah, probably, yeah, that price probably is. Although I'm not sure what the going street prices are at the moment. If you know the right people, it's probably cheaper. But today's economy, probably not so much. Yeah, this will be the first of many things I make in Blender, and the more things you make, the better you are. The same with any kind of artistic pursuit. You keep trying, you get better. I make games on Roblox Studio since personally I think it's the easiest game making studio. Yeah, Roblox is pretty good for that. They got everything in your nice little sandbox, and you just kind of work with it. It's all set up for you to go, so it's awesome. I know another one. It's only for 2D games, but if you want like platformers and stuff like that, sort of, the Game Maker Studio is a very similar setup to Roblox in the sense that they have everything set out for you, even with the publishing and all that. Scratch is interesting to actually use as well. I've never tried it, but I've looked at it and go, well, it's a very good entry level programming setup. Godot, I'd like to look into Godot. Godot is a little bit more hands-on, because there's not so much resource out there. There's gathering resources. It's getting better, but it's very much a community-based engine, which is good and bad. It means sort of you're not kind of tied into what a business wants you to do. But the other side of that is there isn't so much stuff out there. Whereas Unity and Blender, there's so many things out there, and they're still free. Golang is like really easy from my head. Okay, I've not really looked into that. I know they were putting C# into Godot as well, which is good because that's the language I know. I know a lot of C#, which is why partially I went for Unity as well. I like the way Unity looks. It's quite straightforward, and it's the kind of thing the games that are made in Unity is the kind of thing I want to make. But I've also heard people are using Godot and got real good success out of it. There's a indie dev I know been making it's quite niche, but it is a tennis academy dating sim. And it's basically your typical dating sim scenario, but you're all in a tennis academy and you play tennis. It's basically a little tennis game. 2D sprites, like hitting the ball back and forth, but you can romance the other players. And it's quite interesting. He does all the art himself. 4-0, awesome. Doing well. But yeah, he's an artist originally, and he's gone into game development. Because he was doing art for other people's games and for other media, and thought, you know what, let's make our own game. Love dating sims that aren't made in RenPy. What's RenPy? I don't think I've come across that. Absolutely hate RenPy. Is that a form of Python? Yeah, he's making it in Godot. I can probably find you a link to it actually. What's his name? It's goes by the name of, I think his name's Rob, but he goes by Rob. Visual novel engine made in Python. Oh, okay. Sounds interesting, but I can imagine it's being a bit awkward. How it's put together. Where is he? Probably find him because I follow him on Instagram. 2 secs while I pull him up on here. But yeah, it looks a really cool, cool game, and he's posting his progress. It's kind of another inspiration for me making my own games as well, because yeah, just giving it a go really. To just mute that in case anything comes up. Where's the search feature on here now? Buggy mess when you try to make anything more complex than dialogue choices. Oh dear. Ah, Rob Herb he goes by. Rob Herb. But very good artist. Has he got his own thing for... That's it called Tennis Academy RPG is what he's working on. I'll post his Instagram into the chat. Godot is also open source. Yeah, it is. It is actually open source. So there's no licensing for Godot. So you're completely free to use it with no cost. But yeah, that's his Instagram. If you have an Instagram, he's got his own personal Instagram, but that's his game Instagram. Tennis Academy. But yeah, all the art on that Instagram he's hand drawn. Obviously digitally, but doing it all by hand. You got some screenshots and videos of the game. And it's amazing. That's all done in Godot. You can publish games made in Blender. Oh, can you publish games made? I think so. I don't know too much detail on how you I suppose you've got to be able to compile it into a standalone. Blender is open source. I'm not sure. Is it open source? I know it's owned. You can license it. So if you can license it, I'm not sure. Not sure what. What is it? Might be open source. They got rid of the engine in 2.7. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I did hear you could make games in Blender, but yeah, they probably dropped the engine part of it now. So it's literally just a 3D engine with no game part of the engine, which allows you to do animations. You can do like a whole movie in Blender if you wanted to, and make your own kind of Pixar style studio. Oh, has he actually got it on Steam? Let's check his Steam page. He does. Oh, it's my wish list. You technically can make a script that's a game on Blender. Yeah, I know you can do scripting. Scripting on Blender. That's where the whole gaming thing comes in. So that's that link I posted there is to his Steam page for the Tennis Academy. So if you want to see what a Godot game can look like, it's pretty cool. Let's say it's a tennis game / sort of dating sim kind of thing. It's got an exciting story as well. Yeah, looking forward to seeing how that comes out. Not really into tennis games or dating sims, but I'm fully invested in supporting people where I can. But Rob's a good guy. But it wouldn't be a standalone release. Okay. Love RPGs, awesome. Yeah, definitely check out those links I posted there. Because yeah, I say Rob's. What's page saying offline? Yeah, Rob's a good guy, and so he's a very good artist. Join our Discord, awesome. Yeah, Rob's cool. Yeah, if you like RPGs and if you like the dating sim element, or if you just like tennis games, but yeah, he's the first artist I've seen using Godot, and I've seen more artists since, but he's the first one that went, oh, someone's actually using Godot. That's pretty cool. Let's close that search. Go back to this bending thing. Options, transform, origins, locations. So as I said, I'm still learning Blender. So this whole kind of bare model is me seeing what I can do. Also, the thing with creating anything. Also, the thing with creating anything. Well, yeah, I suppose with Blender you can anything you can imagine you can make with it effectively. It's that freedom. It's effectively just make a huge shape into a thing you want. You can spend 10 hours on one piece and have something which is at your skill level. True. There's a lot of little Blender kind of projects you can give a go, like try making a tree or make a house. Spam out drawings, improve over time. Yeah, I've seen someone do a 90-day Blender run, so that every day for 90 days they said they make something new in Blender. And yeah, every day they sort of just spent just that day on a single thing. As soon as the day was over, it's done. Following day, make something completely brand new, and that taught them to try and make different things. They made a few of the same things, but better at making those things. So that's kind of what I need to do, is make more things in Blender. Learn to this after making a single car for 30 hours. Ooh. Yeah, I've downloaded some free cars if I ever want cars. There's nothing I need a car for right now. But I do have an idea that I want to do that has cars, but I have too many things to do as it is. So if I got some spare time or I'm feeling like a change, I can certainly look at doing some low poly cars. But again, I've already got a pack of low poly cars I can just use for free. But it depends if I want to model them on specific things. So what am I missing here? So that shows the axis, which is fine. If you want to change the local axis, meaning the armature's axis, you can enable transform affect only origins option. Okay, let's try that. It was like the old 2000 E39 I have, because I thought it wouldn't be hard because it's semi-blocky and it has a simplistic shape. It's amazing how much extra time you have to put into things that you think, this will only take a few minutes. I can knock that out in an hour. Don't have to worry about putting too much detail into it. And you, as you say, you spend a few more hours doing it. Oh, I was not expecting to take this long. Options. So what's it under? Not in pose mode, is it object mode? Tutorial was like 15 minutes. Spent 3 days. Wow. Yeah, I can imagine that. So that's the thing I find with tutorials. It's like, well, I finished making the thing the tutorial told me to make, but I don't want to make the thing the tutorial was telling me to make. I want to make the thing that I want to make. Which is kind of why I made this panda. This panda is purely based on a plush animal. So for well, it's something that I can't just follow a tutorial for. I can follow tutorials for the methods, like how do I rig it, how do I shape it, how do I do mirroring and all this. So I can follow tutorials for the method, but not the actual following of the object. So I'm happy with that particular rotation there. So X, I'm happy with X movement. In the tutorial they made like a hypercar. Oh, okay. See, I don't like the way that rotates. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter how this bear's ears move, but if I can work this out and I need to do it, then I know how to do it. It's kind of the whole point of this. Pose options. What? So I think it's supposed to be doing that. Something weird going on. Let's take that off. I also fell down the stairs at school yesterday. Ooh. Hope you're feeling okay. That's falling down the stairs in any situation is not particularly good. Hopefully not too bruised. It's got to be something. Calculate paths of selected bones. The only other thing I can think of is I move the bone sort of so it is pointing up. Go back to let's go to edit mode. To move. Why is it doing that? So links, aren't there, I suppose? Rest position. So that's annoying that they're sharing the position on them. There's got to be a way, because I want it to be pointing that direction. I want to change the okay, so this little tutorial I've just followed absolutely does not help. Ah, that's better. It had a mirror thing on. Couldn't you like rotate the base? I suppose I could I don't know. Could I rotate the base? Possibly. Let's see what happens with now I've moved that to there. It goes back to pose mode. Oh, pose position. Yeah, still doing it. So no matter changing the bone, did not actually help me. So it's not where the bone is, it is definitely the joint. 5-0. Wow, they're doing good. Definitely doing good. Update all paths. Reverse direction, armature, blenders. It's axis, isn't it? Bone. Armature, bone, joint. Axis. How do I change the axis direction of the bones? So that's what I was just looking at. It was, okay, but it's the kind of the question I need though. Wait, like what's wrong with the y-axis rotation? So we're going to pose mode. So if we rotate around the is that the Z? Yeah, rotating around the Z. It's basically there's a pin, a vertical pin. I don't want the pin to be vertical. The Y, again, the Y pin is horizontal. I don't want it to be horizontal. Does that make sense? I want it to be kind of in line with the size of the head. So I want to rotate the axis. The X is fine. So the X is actually got a pin going horizontal on the depth, which is fine. That's exactly what I'd expect. But it's the Z and the Y axis needs to be rotated. So let's think of that. So armature axis rotation. You can't change the bone's axis. Y will always be the bone's main axis, but you can make it rotate itself with Control R plus degrees. If you want to change the local axis, meaning the armature axis, you can enable the transform affect only origins options and rotate the origin as you want. That sounds about right. The button on the middle right. Middle right, middle left, up. The one that says global. Where am I looking? Is it up here? Oh, global, global, global. Local. Ah! Good spot, dealer. Good spot. That is what I was thinking about. There we go. That is what I wanted. That is what I wanted. Awesome. So basically I want it to be able to flap its ear, and naturally that's how its ear is going to flap. So then if I go back to pose mode, as it remembered, there's a lot of things that are like hidden in plain sight. Yeah, it seems Blender is just click that. Is that the symbol? Click that, sorted. You go, oh, okay. It's not like you have to go through any of these menus. It's just there, but not knowing it's there. So if I go to move this one, yeah, so that's now, that's exactly as I would want it to be anyway. Cool. I think is it all basically how I would want it? Basically, it seems to be as I would want it anyway. Right. So does that actually apply? Transformation orientation. Align the transformation axis to be the object's local space. Cool. Let's give that a save. Right there.
Knee started to hurt.
Okay, so I want to now, I think that's literally all I wanted to do in Blender now, as far as this object is concerned. I could make an animation for it and carry the animation over to Unity. Could try doing an animation, save that. Animation. Let's go back to modeling. Object mode. Turn off the visibility of the rig. Probably want the rig on actually to animate. Let's think, what we wanting to do? Probably bob its head, flap its ears, and wave maybe. Create pose asset. No frames were found on the pose. So probably have to do an animation tutorial to work that out. So we try and put it into Unity. We do that and we can work out animations later. So Go back to modeling. How do we export? So look at exporting for Unity. We can get back into Unity, then do some game stuff. Blender export for Unity. How to export models from Blender to Unity. Rigging is a coin flip. There's like a button, I think, on file export. Okay. File export. And it is the FBX format. Or object, the object format. So I think FBX is the native. There's a few options. Yeah, FBX, MB. You've got a few different options there. So what's the difference? FBX versus Blend. There are two main ways to get Blender models in pt.30. Unity. Export models as FBX files, copy them over to Unity. Store the whole Blender file in a Unity directory and let Unity handle all the hard work. In this tutorial will cover both. Which exporting method is better? Defining forward axis. How Blender exports FBXs, location 0, 0, rotation 0, 0, scale 1, 1, 1, positioning, fixing the scale, fixing position. Pre-rotation object, uncheck space. Okay, we can try exporting it, see what comes out. So, export. There's a FBX. What do we have here then? I'll put it into my 3D objects. So object types. So we got everything there, really. So then you suppose if you've got more than one object in the scene. Up is okay. So this is how you all local plus scalings. So what is forward? So in this case, X plus is forward. And up is Z plus is up. Apply units, nothing else we need to tick as a operator presets, path auto, batch off, include, export, okay. Sometimes local doesn't work in edit mode, and like so just to try around different things. That seems to be the best way to do most things, just try around. Give it a go, see what happens. Oh yeah, there's the FBX file. So what we can do then, let's open up Unity, see if we can bring it in. Hopefully it doesn't tank the stream while I'm doing this. Probably should have opened Unity before, but I wasn't quite sure how long it would take us to do this. Cool, okay. Let's get the project open. Let's keep an eye on my frame rates in case it drops drastically. Just the pure task of opening Unity takes a lot of power. Once it's open, it's fine. It's loading all the different libraries, I suppose. Always exciting. I realise I've not had any music playing for this entire time. Yeah, let's throw that back over there. Let's get YouTube open over here and we'll find some royalty-free chill out stuff. Oh look, I'm live. That's useful. Let's do a quick search here. Stream friendly Nintendo music. That's a bit of an oxymoron. Let's go with that. Okay, that's good to know. About the 3-hour 15-minute mark, there's a copyrighted piece of music in this 5-hour video. We won't be playing it for that long. Righto. Let's minimise Blender. Hey, and there we go. There's a Unity there. So prefabs, we can drop it into the prefab. Let's pop it into there. Polygon of mesh body 01 assets prefab is self-intersecting, has been discarded. Oh. Self-intersecting. Oh no, there it is. It's fine. We have a panda. Oh, what's going on here? It seems to be light emitting. Well, kind of cool in some ways that it's in the game, but it's also a beacon. Oh, has it got the light? Oh, I've exported the light source, haven't I? Okay, so I need to remove that. Or is the light source removable from here? Lighting. Delete. There we go. Camera doesn't need its own camera. Spine. Okay, it's got the full kind of... The armature's built into it. That's cool. It's missing some of its mesh though. So it just that bit by its on its collar there though. I have to find out why. Why that's happening. See, from what I can tell, the rest of the mesh is all there. It's not the model per se missing it. The normals are flipped. Okay. So that's saying the actual is it visible from the other side, you're saying? Yeah, cool. Okay, I need to work out why that's happening. It's not a major thing. Can we fix easily enough though? Okay. Could do a resizing that a little bit. Let's bring it down. I suppose we need to bring the actual texture through so we can apply it. Because again, I didn't really check the size when I made it, I just made it. Whereas anything I'm going to make for games in the future, I really should make on the scale that they're going to be used as for simplicity. Where is it? Rock. So all these should be 0, 0, 0. The castle looks cool. Did you model it? I did not. This is one of the assets I acquired in the pack. But I want to make some more things like this though. No, everything else you see here I did not make. So I can't take credit for any of these. But it's kind of what gave me the inspiration. I acquired this medieval pack, so it had castle, it had trees, it had like characters. There's a option in Blender that lets you view face normals. Okay. Let's have a look. And flipping them is just a click. Awesome. So I suppose I might as well do that. Flip it, re-export it. Top right. Viewpoint shading. Next to visibility settings. Overlays. Arrow next to 2 circles. Is this it? Viewport overlays. The other arrow. This one. Face orientation. Hey chat today. Sorry dealer. It's the one on the right. This one. Oh, face orientation. Oh yeah, there's the two. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for sticking by that. Now I've got the minimal delay on YouTube. It's still a bit slow. So there's hardly armature. You don't need to see the armature. It's weird. So when I unwrapped the mesh, these two bits were separate anyway. So I can understand why now. They decided to flip them for some reason. Unless I accidentally folded the mesh in on itself when I made it. Maybe. It's possible. So the next thing is, how do we flip the normals? Select the model. Selection. Use face select and press Alt to correct them. In object mode. Oh, it's in edit mode. Object. Cool. And switch to edit. Gotcha. So what are you saying? The face select, press Alt to correct them. The white square on the top right is face select. That's okay. Top left. I'm just as hopeless with left and rights. So these ones in mode. What are these ones up here? Face selection mode. How long have you been using Blender for? Probably a few weeks. That one, awesome. Ah, awesome. This is so much easier using that. I didn't know that was there. As you say, it's in plain sight. Oops, not that one. No. IX150, awesome! Right, we selected those. Yeah, not very long, Stephen. And so this is the first model I've made, and I've been using Blender for as long as it's taken me to make this model. Alt N to flip them. Flip. Ah, didn't have that one. Normals flip. Awesome. Thank you, dealer. It's weird. When how they got flipped? I must have done something when I was... Because I made the head and the body separately and then I just attached them. There's probably an easy way of doing it. I have used this software way too much. Awesome. You're exactly the kind of person I need. Okay. Oh, very interesting. So I can then take off the face orientation because I don't need to see that anymore. But that's something I need to be aware of now. So if I go save and go export back to FPS, export, so that should overwrite the file. Let's go back to Unity. I need to remove it from the world. Depends on it actually re-import it. Cool. So I've definitely used Unity more than I've used Blender. So I've done tutorials with Unity. Blender, I've not done any tutorials. I've just kind of followed along to do it again. Didn't untick the delete the lighting. Delete the camera. Cool. Oh. Okay, let's delete it completely out of here. Yes. We'll bring it back in. There we go. I have like 130 hours on Blender, and likely with all the tutorials and media I consumed, it's easily 200. Wow. That's incredible. Here we go. We've actually got it in there. Let's move that into there. Set those as 0, 0, 0. I've gone on the oh, what's happened there? Do we miss anything on the back of it? The texture is really well done, thank you. Did we miss the back of his arms? I'm sure that was fine before. Let's go back in Blender, let's have a look. So it's fine there. What if it's a texture issue then? Is it missing? Might be missing part of the texture somehow. I think it might be Ngon causing that. If you like, I can send. You can send me the model to patch up because it took me hours when I was beginning. Yeah, I'm quite happy to drop the model and give you a go on that. But as long as I know how it needs to be fixed in case it comes up again. It does seem to be just the one part of the texture. So is it actually part of this texture that's... Is it the texture that's wrong? It's basically splitting a face into a bunch of small faces. Okay. So that they're all squares or triangles. Okay. Right, yeah, because that's... The back of the arm, or even the front of the arms, is one big multi-sided shape. So you're saying would it be better to actually split these into rather than one weird shape, actually split it into triangles instead of one face with a bunch of vertices. Okay. Yeah, so I can do that anyway, because as you can see by here, look, it is in one shape with lots of vertices. So it's better to actually subdivide that up. It's not had an issue with the front. It's just the back. I did see something about just adding adding more faces into it. There's kind of a subdividing up. Because it's still on face select. It is on face select. Well, there's a does it subdivide? There's another thing you could try, which is deleting the face and using fill or grid fill. Okay, we can try that first. Oops. Select face, delete face. So that's basically how it looks then. Using fill or grid fill. So how do I use the fill or grid fill? Do I have to select the model? Take it off onto there. Use the edge select on the outline. Edge select. Line thing next to the face select. So what's that? That's selection. Subtract, invert, insect, existing section. Sure, that was a face select up there. On the right of the edit mode. Oh, up here. Edge select. Gotcha. Middle one. And is there a shortcut key that allows you to select all the edges, or do you have to manually? There's got to be a shortcut, isn't there? Otherwise it's selecting all the edges manually. You can use control to find the shortest path. Let's have a quick looky. You can use the control thing on longer distances. Control thing on longer distances. So it's like hold control. No, it's not that, is it? Oops, a quick check. Hold control and click on an edge that's a bit further. Oh, gotcha. Right. That's how you do it. Awesome, thank you, dealer. Thank you for sticking with me. It's a learning experience for it all. So basically, once you select one edge, you select another edge, and it'll then connect them all. Control F is the fill menu, I think. Let's have a look. Control F. Is it insert face? Grid fill? Never mind. Oh yeah. Grid fill, go for grid fill. Select two edge loops or a single closed edge loop from which to... Doesn't work, just fill. Okay. Didn't like that then. That was insert face. Oh, just fill it. Okay. Fill. Ah, awesome. Yeah, that puts all the triangles in. Cool. Let's do the same for the other side now. Face select. There's all face select. Face select. Delete face. Age select. See, we're learning. Be right back, Aussie food time, walking dog. Okie dokie. See you shortly. It's not hard when you know how to do it. Yeah. I feel I tend to pick up things fairly quickly once I start doing them. So that's why I kind of wanted to give these kind of things a go, to go, well, oops, not quite what I wanted. Yeah, if I don't give these a go, then I'm not going to learn how to do them. Cool. So that now has multiple bits. That should make it better as far as bending as well, I suppose. Is it worth doing that for the front as well, you reckon? Because I know it tends to prefer having triangles or squares. It doesn't really like having multi-sided shapes. Like the ears, the eyes, no, that should really be the same, I suppose. Should we do the front? Let's do the front as well. Topology is a nightmare. Yeah, I'm starting to feel that. I mean, don't see why not. If it's going to help the thing do its thing, then... could need to weight paint again. Okay. We'll keep that in mind then. Best tip I have on dealing with n-gons is just make sure you don't make them. True. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things I would do next time I make a model. So many things I looked at, I could have done that better. Like the whole mess around here, you can see what's going on here. I could have made that shape far better than that. But this is my first model. I know not to do those mistakes next time. But considering it is the first model, could have done a lot worse, I suppose. It's really good for a first model. Thank you. Mine's really ugly. Ah. So you gotta start with something that doesn't look good. Thing is, I tend to like to jump in the deep end. Like, there's tutorials for making donuts. I think the Blender donut is like the standardized kind of first model thing. I just kind of skipped the donut, went straight to a multi-shaped panda. Just because I wanted to. Right, so that's the front and back of that. Okay, so that's the arms. I think the ears were fine, the eyes were fine. The donut tutorial teaches the menu really well, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'll probably still do the donut tutorial. I find if I struggle my way through a thing and then look at a tutorial and then go back to the thing, it makes more sense than me doing a tutorial than go, what did the tutorial say? And so I'm trying to think back of how to apply it. Blender Guru uses some obscure features like the particle physics thing. Yeah, I skimmed through the donut tutorial that Blender Guru does before even installing Blender. So it made no difference to me because I wasn't following along. I was like watching and go, okay, that seems simple enough. And then I installed Blender and then tried doing something completely separate. But now if I go back to the donut tutorial after struggling through Blender, I go, oh yeah, I've used things like before. Oh, I didn't know that was there. And I kind of combine stuff I've picked up with the tutorial then. And kind of solidifies the two. So that's what I'm going to give it a go. Save that. So weight painting might need a... Let's have a look at weight painting. Which one is it? Shoulder, ear, ears are fine. Forearm, might be okay actually. Well, the shoulder's not planning to bend much anyway. That was perfect, yeah. Forearm, hand. Yeah, weight painting still looks good. Awesome. Not messing with your weight painting is really good. Yeah, I fully expected you to say sort of have to redo the weight painting. But maybe because I only took the one face out, it's kind of carried it over, maybe. I don't know, I'm guessing. But it seems to have kept the weight painting. So yeah, save that. So if we check the texturing, make sure the textures, there we go, this is what we have to check. So textures need to be redone because they're deleted by the textures. Could be like on the UV unwrap, it placed them in the same place, did it not? Yeah, the UV unwrap was a bit dodgy. As you can see, this map is less than ideal. I almost contemplated just scrapping it and doing it again, but I've kind of got this far with it. Depends if it's like worth just going, you know what, scrap that, scrap the unwrap, do a new one, and just do a better one with seams and stuff. Pretty sure you can just mouse over the arms, yeah. I'll stick with what I got for now. Next model I'll do the seams on the model and then I'll unwrap it that way. Because I didn't even know you could apply seams. Where is it not showing the... One problem I had with texture painting when I was starting out is not unwrapping the model properly. Yeah, I can feel that. Textures would overlap really weird. Yeah, I noticed a couple of bits like that. Like, yeah, the arm, on one of them, the arm was overlapping the... Yeah, I think it might even be this one. Like, the one texture here, this face was overlapping this bit on the back, so you painted the arm, it painted the back. Fortunately, they're both black. But that's the point. And if I've deleted those faces and made new ones, do I need to unwrap those faces? Are those faces not in the UV map anymore? How do we actually see the... pretty sure they get placed on the UV map. Okay, so I need to find them on the map ideally. White painting, texture painting. But they tend to be in inconvenient places. Okay, so it's a case of finding where they are. Paintbrush. So why does it not let me paint onto there? Well, previously, I could see the islands and the mesh on here. Or have I done not see those? So I can actually see what, if there's a white bit that needs painting in. Try selecting the model with object mode. Select it, then go to texture painting. Let's hide the armature. We don't need to see that right now. What am I missing? Texture masking, stroke, fall off, mixture. That's only really view all objects in the scene, local view, viewer modes, cameras. UVs are in edit mode. Probably this then. Is this what we need to look at? Oh, there. Ah, there we go. So if I just select that, I can see it's here. Select everything. Is that... What is select? Is that control? Oh, not control, is it? Auto? I know there's a shortcut for selecting everything. As there is for most things. Weird. Yeah. I can do that. There's a button that makes the model semi-transparent in viewport. Oh, some weird stuff going on here. Oh, so you can actually select through the model, is that? Let's do that. That makes sense. It's quite a useful thing to have. So that's fine being selected. Try and make the window bigger on the right, a bit bigger it should appear. Make this window bigger. On the top right of the window. Shading. Viewport shading. 2 squares. Oh, this one. X-ray. Ah. Oops. So there's the tops. Where's the... Where's the rest of the arm? So it was... No, that's the ears, I think. I think it was there. That was the arm originally. So it's still got the outer part of it there. The same here, you've got the top and bottom of that arm. I'm not seeing... Not seeing the new faces. And so the alternative is to... I'm guessing to... Do we have to unwrap these again? It might be a viewport not viewing stuff correctly. Okay. Try to render the image. Render the image. How are we doing that? Active workspace showing in the window. F12. F12. Okie dokie. There you go. Let me F12 it. Oh, there we go. Cool. Okay. Pretty cool looking panda. We just close the render then. Does it look right in the render? It's if not, it might have to unwrap it again. It's got arms, but they're white where it should be black. But yeah, I'm not past unwrapping it again. Do you have to unwrap the entire model, or can you unwrap just a part of it, or is it worth just unwrapping the whole model again? What you reckon's best in this case? Because the painting is not that complicated. Might need to be unwrapped again. Okay. So, so this current thing we have going on the left, how do we discard that and make a new one? Let's have a quick look how we then your shortcut is U, I think. U for unwrap. So unwrap the mesh of the object being edited. Now, do we want to mark the seams first? Marker mark selected edges as seams. Where's the... Take the X-ray off. If we mark the seams and then when it unwraps it should keep certain areas separate. So I'm guessing you just kind of mark where you want it to be cut. You could make a backup and just yodel it. That's true. It's entirely true. I think I'm going to unwrap it again. See if I can do the seams. So that's selecting the edges. Right, so that's got an edge all around its ear. So if I then go U, mark as seam. So that is now a seam. I suppose I want to subdivide the ear as well through the centre. Although I suppose it unwraps the ear. So if you just want to guarantee where it unwraps it, I suppose. So I could mark this one outer part as a seam. Yeah, let's make a seam up the side here. What's the wrong one? So you mark that as a seam. So we got a slice there and a slice there. Gonna go to bed. It's quite late. I have school tomorrow. Okie dokie. Thank you for all the help, dear. That's much appreciated. I would have been here for hours trying to work out how to do this, and you've pushed me forward probably about 4 or 5 hours worth. So yeah, thank you, stream. Thank you for being here. Hope you have a good rest. Enjoy school as much as you can do, and yeah, I'll probably see you next Wednesday. If we do some more of this, are we here next Wednesday? We are next Wednesday. Yeah. So yeah. Next Wednesday we'll be doing some more of this, because I'll be moving this to Wednesdays temporarily at the very least. So yeah, hope to see you. Back from dog walk. Welcome back, Jeffrey. Hope you had a good dog walk. Such a useful thing, just short evening walk. Awesome. Well, it's good enough. Yeah. That's all you need sometimes. I think I'm happy with that one. Mark that as a seam. Not even allowed in the forest after 8 p.m. Whose rules are those? For wildlife rest, etc. Oh, okay, gotcha. Is make sure they get local government rules. That's fair. Yeah, it's to make sure that the wildlife gets their rest as well. It's good they're looked after. Okay, mark that as a seam. So that's the ears. Let's mark the nose as a seam. And probably down the middle. Tell you what. Let's be a bit more specific about this. Going back to face select. Yeah, just put facing. That's all we need to do. Okay. Face select. Delete the face. Edge select. Put the face back in. Might as well repair the nose while we're at it. What's going on there? Not quite understanding what's going on here. That's what I was after. Merge vertices at center. Cool, you need to delete the faces after all. We'll merge these first. I think I've fixed that. Let's double check some of these. I think it's only around the nose that I had an issue. Cool, okay. Now we've done that, we can now divide the nose. Oh, that's a seam. I like his big nose. I like his big nose. It's big and squishy. Yeah, all the pandas. Right, so the nose is going to be a separate thing. Let's make the eyes a separate thing as well. Just make life a little bit easier. So supposedly what I'm doing here is marking, effectively if you had a drawing and you're marking where to cut with the scissors, basically. So I'm just telling Blender these orange lines are where I wanted to cut and unwrap it into a flat piece of paper. So anywhere it's cutting is a separate bit I can colour in. It makes life so much easier than what I did before. So all of this work I did over here is basically going to disappear. I'm going to do it all again. But because of that, it means the nose now do I want the I effectively want the smile to be on one piece really, don't I? So maybe if I remove those seams and actually make a new set of seams. Probably if we make a seam around here. So its mouth becomes a separate piece I can paint in. Nose is a separate piece. The rest of its snout is a separate piece. So mark that as a seam. And the good thing is, if I wanted to animate its mouth by separating it, I can tell it to just replace that tiny bit of texture with another texture of its mouth open, for instance. So it makes it easier. I only have to make a graphic that's just that piece. Same with the eyes. These being separate, I can tell it that it kind of winks its eye or something. But if it's a whole thing, I have to make a whole new graphic. That includes the eye being different. That's why you've probably seen with their Stardew Valley texture mods that you can see like their heads would be a separate texture to the body, for instance, and that's where it's been split like this. So we want to put a seam around the head. So I want the head to be separate from the body. Mark that as a seam. So everything below that line will be a black area. Probably want we want the face to be probably the front of the head to have a seam, so probably cut it up the side here. Probably that bit there. Mark that as a seam. Mark that as a seam. So the back of the head is one piece. Well, actually, if it's cutting along there, it'll probably unfold its head at the top. So it'd just be easy to have it as a separate piece. Let's put a seam across the top of its head. So there's it. Front of the head will be one piece, back of the head will be one piece, the eyes will be a separate piece, mouth will be a separate piece, snout a separate piece, the nose will be a different piece. Let's divide across the bottom now. So it's probably about here. I think it was about halfway through this texture down here, this square, that I actually decide to mark that as black. So probably if I put a subdivide in there. So loop cut, can I do a loop cut there? There you go, so that's a loop cut. Why is it doing that? Why is it considering that? Oh, it's because these aren't connected, probably. No, they're not. Okay, let's oh, we can use seam bits there. Oh, let's go to the merge vertices at center. Merge at center. Merge at center. That's where we stitched the two halves of the panda together. It didn't quite stitch here. It did stitch here though, by the looks of it. Yeah, that's stitched. That's stitched. Okay, it was just up the centre of the back there, it wasn't stitched. Right, select the Ooh, made it into a seam. So we'll slice it around that bit. And we want to make sure the arms are separate pieces, so slice down the middle. There's me thinking I was nearly done with this. But we're going to do it properly. So that's slicing the hand in the middle. Let's do the same over here. And there's the seam. Okay, so that's in half there. So it's just separating off the legs. And then we've got all the seams ready to unwrap them. So worth putting the seam down the centre. Easy to put it down the centre and around the side, I suppose. Yeah, 'cause you can't really sect it through the middle. So we'll split it that way. You okay back there?
Hmm?
You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Probably finished in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
This music's very calming. It's supposed to be Pokemon themed chill out. kind of like guitar, piano versions of Pokemon music. Which is supposedly copyright free, but someone in the comments says, yeah, there's a bit that isn't. Marked as a seam. Mark that as a seam. So just need to separate off this leg, slice it in half, and that's all the seams. Now, if only I knew this beforehand. Blender more or less difficult than expected. I was expecting it to be awkward. I've gone through stages, Jeffrey. Like, initially thought, oh, Blender's a bit easier than I was expecting, and then the more I learn about it, I go, it's more complicated than I first thought. So, first impressions, it's not too bad. And now I'm learning more, is that actually there's a lot more going on. But overall, I'm picking up, as Dealer said, it's just knowing what all these buttons are. It's like, well, clicking that makes your life 100 times easier if you're trying to do that thing. But if you're not trying to do that thing, button means nothing to you. If that thing like Photoshop, you use certain tools to get certain effects. If you don't want to use that effect, that button doesn't mean anything to you. But if you're trying to do that effect with a paintbrush, it's going to be far harder for you. So it's just learning the tools, I suppose. Just knowing that there's a tool to do certain jobs. Cool. Yeah. It's just knowing what tools you need to use to achieve certain things. Once you know what they are, you go, well, like this seam, like I'm doing seams, I'm sort of, I know U is UV mapping, F is face, A is armature. So it's pretty much all the letters on the keyboard are different tools, and then you're using your mouse as the tool itself. Like if I want to zoom in and out, I hold down Control and move the mouse. If I want to pan, I hold down Shift and move the mouse. If I just want to rotate, I just move the mouse. So it's like hold down Control, Shift, nothing. It's just remembering, okay, Control, zoom, Shift, pan. I'm just kind of doing it that way. But I could do with... I've tried finding like a keyboard shortcut cheat sheet. But without knowing what it means, like, why would I need to do that? What does that function do? What is that tool about? How do I use that tool? It just doesn't hold as much much value. Like the Control Z is standard. Like I did a thing, Control Z, go back. Same with like holding Shift and Control to select multiple things. Yeah, that'll do us nicely. Cool. I think that's all the seams. So if it slices along those lines there, it should be easy, or at least easier, to sort of understand that. So let's go save. So we've saved it with all the seams. So what we want to do is unwrap that. So Smart UV projects. Projection unwraps the selected faces of mesh objects. Unwrap the mesh of the objects being edited. So there we go, unwrap. I've hit unwrap, but it's not really done much. Go new, replace. What's that? So image, new. Image, Panda paint. Don't need an alpha. Let's make that 248 by 248. Oh, we can edit externally, that's useful. Might have to go back over over the tutorial for unwrapping because I don't know what I need to do now. Okay, so blender and unwrap mesh. How to properly unwrap my mesh? Unwrapping a mesh is a skill in itself. Here we've learned that, but there's no really right or wrong. Just judge yourself. Figure out the flow of the mesh you plan. Place the seams. Wherever you place the seam, blender will cut the 3D model and try to flatten it. You want to make sure first and foremost that it will be able to split apart into even planes, otherwise you'll get a major warping issues. Open the UV editor, yes, and start placing the seams. Yep, Control E, mark seam. Okay, that's a nice shortcut. UV unwrap the model with U unwrap. Make sure if it unwraps the way you want to tweak the seams until you are happy with the result. Oh, you can tweak the seams afterwards. Okay. Can we delete the unwrapping? I wonder. Oh, quite what I had in mind. What is it under? Properties, asset browser? No. I've lost what it was. Oh, browser. No. Ah, that's it. Went to visit my neighbour's house today. Oh, is that the cool neighbours that you get on with? He died some weeks ago, but his children were cleaning. Went to visit. He was 92. Oh wow, high-ranking soldier. But he did well then. Because I know there's a lot of stress involved with being in the military. Whole house was filled with military things. Was cool. Nice. Yeah, sad days he died, but 92 is a good age. So a quick look blender. Object data. So select the object. Object data. The icon is a triangle with dots on the three corners. He was a child during World War II and he once stole the boots of an SS officer. Still own them. Cool. They were his size when he was an adult. Used them for gardening all his life. His children told. Awesome. That's a fun story. Triangle of three dots. That's also a triangle of three dots. Is that it? Not that. Just starting blowing doing where subme is have two UV spaces attached to the object, base and base 0. One can figure out how to get rid of one. Select object and select object data. The icon is a triangle with three dots on the three corners. Scroll down to UV maps. Select the one you want to delete. Okay, UV maps. Okay, yeah. Sorted. Another Dutch translated word. Grasshopper locust is jumping rooster. Nice. Into edit mode tab. Edit mode, yes, tab. Select all with A, yes. U, smart UV. Project, however, I suggest you look at some tutorials. Oh yes, I remember now. Margin to reduce bleed from adjacent. Weight projections, vector and faces. That's a better one. texture painting. How do we remove some of these then? We select it and then do we delete it? I feel we're getting close now. I just need to work out how to get rid of this texture now and start again with it. So what are these? These are, as I say, browse images to be linked. Delete the linked image. Select the object you want to link. From the object menu, choose Relations, make single user. probably have to do this next time. Because once I've got the new texture, I'm going to have to paint it anyway. So I'll probably have to look up how I'm going to remove this. Remove this texture. Once I've done that, put a new texture in and then repaint the panda. But it'll be a hell of a lot quicker because all the bits that need to be black are separate from all the bits that need to be white. But yeah, we'll save that there and we'll come back to that next Wednesday. Let's switch over the screen. We got to see the panda in Unity. It's just a shame that it wasn't quite working, but now we've got an opportunity to redo it. Plus I can use the version of the panda in Unity as a reference point now. But yeah, well, thank you all for joining tonight, and thank you to Dealer for all this help. Certainly very useful information. Thank you for streaming, thank you for being here, Jeffrey. Thank you to you, thank you Lisa. Thank you Stephen for dropping in. See you next Monday probably, yes indeedy. Back on Monday for some Stardew Valley. No stream on Friday. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy your weekend. Back on Monday for Stardew and back on Wednesday next week do some more games dev stuff. So we can repaint this panda. And hopefully it works when we import it back into Unity again. But yeah, definitely see you then. Let's save Unity, because I like the fact there is a panda in Unity now. It's just not. It's a little bit broken. But have a good night, and I shall see you all on Monday. Thank you all for watching, and those who are liking, chatting, or just being here. You're all awesome. See you then.